These kinds of days, when the mouth of autumn cracks open in brays, blows the memories of birth and light, of spring, warm blanket of summer and sun hot stinging foreshadows the fall and the darkness that will soon encompass all. Makes me tingle, the magic in this single moment, haunted, enlightened. Spirit brings out the spirit as if we know it, a bit within it, row round through it, float right on it, strolling into, onto, where to, finding. We find dwellers, hidden dwellers, lovers and love occurs, feed the heart, the soul, the intuition, come to fruition, watered and sunned. Who is our ruler? Are we ruled? Who made the rules? Rules. Respect makes for perfect. Heart, healing, feeling, sensitive sensation, curious reaction, attraction, exchange, communication to satisfaction.
Hi, I'm John DeVore. Welcome to the channel. Today's a record review. It's sort of a record review. It's actually a review of a record company that I only recently discovered. The record company is Hidden Harmony Recordings. I found out about it when my friend Michael Livornia pointed out that this record was being pressed and was available to buy. So I went to the link. I know this artist. I have another recording by her, a digital download, but this is the first time, as far as I know, this is the first time this music has been put on a record. The recordings on these of this it's mostly from the 80s, and it's experimental. It's beautiful, but this record is actually not the subject of this video. This record was my entryway into discovering Hidden Harmony Recordings in Estonia. It's a record company in Estonia. This artist is Estonian. And so when I went to Bandcamp, to the Hidden Harmonies Bandcamp page, I started clicking around and listening to samples from actually all of their recordings. And there aren't a ton of them. Maybe there's 8 total releases on the Bandcamp page. And I liked all of them. And so I ended up buying a number of records. They came beautifully packed, but then they also came in some, a couple of different little paper packages within the record box with a really nice handwritten note thanking me. A really nice handwriting too, actually. And a free record. So it came with a record that I did not actually buy initially. So I ended up getting 1, 2, including Ocean, 3, 4, 5, 6 records in total. I am very happy with all of them. The one that I didn't intend to buy is from Klara Kristin. This is a repress of a record, Lullaby and Drum Machine. Side A is Lullaby, and it reminds me a bit of a mashup of like Astrid Hilberto and maybe Jane Birkin. But I could be biased because when I looked up Klara Kristin, it turns out that she is a supermodel as well as a musician. So anyway, Lullaby, very, very bossa-esque, mellow, rich, very sort of an intimate and beautifully recorded, beautiful sounding, nicely sung, actually. Good stuff. And then side B is Drum Machine. It reminded me more than anything, it reminded me a little bit of that period in the 90s with like Basia and Annie Lennox with her record Diva, where these great vocalists would go in the studio and basically be the only living creature in the studio, and everything else would be synths, sort of drum tracks and synth loops and stuff like that. And in a lot of cases, it wasn't great. In this case, I think it comes out a little bit more successful in that there's a little bit more richness and there's a little bit more of a human touch in it. A lot of, like Annie Lennox Diva, a lot of the orchestration and the arrangement in that record diminishes Annie Lennox's incredible vocals, in my opinion. Anyway, nice surprise. Thank you to Hidden Harmonies Records for including that treat. And the other records that I got were just were fantastic. I mean, not just Ocean, which is a really cool piece. The two of the records that I bought that are my favorites are these two. So one is Naive by Ramona Córdova. This is an American artist. This is a really, really beautiful. So the Hidden Harmonies recordings, their little blurb is experimental, ambient, natural recordings. So you sort of get this drift of this sort of this spacious, contemplative palette, and that's true for all of these records, a greater or lesser extent. Naive is it's a sort of a protest record, but it's very personal, very intimate. Their voice is really beautiful, very sort of hard to pin down, and sort of a vulnerable, really kind of fragile and deep. It's very beautiful music, very sensitively done. As far as I can tell, this is their first record, so bravo, nice work. Also, I just a shout out to Hidden Harmony Records. They're beautiful records. So they're all die cut sleeves, embossed. I think many of them. So many of them are the same die cut and the same embossing. The Hidden Harmonies logo there in a raised embossing there, and the same little die cut thing going on, although the Klara Kristin is different. The entire record is die cut, and there's a little bit more going on. But just really nice packaging, great presentation. My favorite of this haul, at least right now, if you ask me in a couple of weeks, I reserve the right to change my mind. But my favorite is Morita Vargas, and the record is just titled 8. Morita Vargas is an Argentinian musician, and again, there is sort of an ambient flow, very relaxing tempos, very creative recording. All sorts of instruments in here, kalimba, marimba, and lots of sort of stretched out, slightly altered harmonics in the way these instruments are used. Flute, tambourine. You can hear there's a cajon, the big crate that's played like a drum. You sit on it and play it with your hands. So there's a really beautiful mix of sort of electronic ambient atmospherics and real sort of tangible timbres of actual instruments. Really gorgeous. A beautiful, beautiful record. I've heard it many, many times so far, and every time it just impresses. It takes me, I should say, it takes me to a place. Beautiful record. Highly recommended. And highly recommended record company. You know, props to them. I'd never heard of them. Operating out of Estonia, artists from all over the world. I think this musician artist, I read about her a little bit. Maybe Copenhagen, or maybe she's Copenhagen and Paris. Maybe in Paris she's the model, and in Copenhagen she's a musician. I'm making that up. But yeah, just a great sort of global mix of cool music, all produced and performed and written in a way that, for me, puts me in sort of a mindful state of listening. And I love it. Great stuff. Highly recommended. I will put the link to Hidden Harmony's Bandcamp page down below. Hope you liked the video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye.
Bye.